Looks like the Stanton Cemetery is still here. Late 19th century. I didn't know it was haunted. Right behind me, it's quarry. Something, huh? Hell of a view they have here. Quite a peaceful restaurant, resting place. In the Ijams Nature Center. And get to the breaking an ankle. That should do it. They say you can see Klingman's dome from here. Still have yet to learn any of the smoky landmarks. Out of the dark and into the light here at the Stanton Cemetery graveyard. Not much is known about the people buried here. It's assumed that most worked at the Mead's quarry for the Mead Company. Hauling out rock and stone. Till they hit water. Then, unlike the Augusta quarry workers, they gave up and turned to processing the rock and the stone into gravel and other things that I'm very little knowledge of. It seems overgrown since I was last up here, about 2 years or so ago. Doesn't seem tended to at all here. This cute little churchyard in Ijams Nature Center. See that there? Tell me that doesn't look like road posts. How many times and how many cemeteries I've tried to get sort of a shot of tombstones along a way that sort of resembles tombstones. You know, like road posts. Guardrails, you know. And those who died along the way worked working towards home or working for something. Stanton Cemetery, named for the, I think, a couple that are buried here. Stanton's. Yeah, I could use a maybe tomorrow. Try back. One of the glories of Ijams Nature Center. Yeah. Stanton Cemetery. Formerly known as Dempsey Johnson Cemetery. Yeah. I think those are the lovebirds. Started on land owned by Dempsey Johnson as a family cemetery with an iron fence enclosing the Johnson family plot. The site later evolved into a community cemetery and was renamed the Stanton Cemetery. The first grave is dated 1820. And the last 1939. Many buried here lived and presumably worked at Meade's Quarry. There are also many unmarked or fieldstone marked graves, including several infants and children. One of these was Edgar Sams, a 13-year-old boy scout, who died on November 3rd, 1932, after a brief illness. Members of his Boy Scout troop served as pallbearers. A nod to some of the cleanup crew from past years. Probably now as old as I am. But that's not why I'm here. Although it is, I mean, that's truly something. It is a major attraction here. Behind the Meade's Quarry here at Ijams. But I am searching for something else that I have not been to here. And it's one of those things that I've been told about again and again and again. And I'm like, yeah. And just never seem to investigate. There were other things. So now this September morn of 25, I thought I would finally investigate this. I've been told it's behind the Meads Quarry. All right. Just outside the graveyard. At Meads. Leads to the lookout. The outlook over the quarry. This is a road I've never traveled before. See if it'll lead me to where I want to go. Oh my. What do you know? They had a car. And that seems to be the variable. The road here is not paved, unlike Dunn Street. Just over the hill here, just over the ridge behind me here. But 1904 from City Records. Changed owners. It's true, it's true. You know, I've kept asking Paul James of the Knoxville History Project about Dunn Street and the house on Dunn Street. And he kept referring to this. He said, I don't know about Dunn Street. I know there's a place up by the old cemetery behind the quarry. Is that what you're referring to? No, Dunn Street. I don't know the name of this street. I hear that Ijams has bought the place, or is in the process of buying the place. Is that cable or phone? Yeah, phone. A storage for someone, and access to haul this stuff out. Right? I do not know how long it's been abandoned like this. It looks like years. But there you go. It's like maybe somebody used it for storage of some sort. First glance, it doesn't look like it's been vandalized in any way. Open its cub. $4/18, is that the date? Seems pretty contemporary. Fuse box doesn't. Oh my. It's true, it's true. I don't know if I'm more thrilled about there actually being a site here, or the site itself. Now that looks like a little vandalism, perhaps, by the homeless women and children. It's like all it needed was a push. Or push. I can't tell if it's an outhouse or not. The house post dates any sort of outhouse, but I will tell you, I'm not going to look and find out. Beautiful. Everything seems to be intact here. It's quite impressive. I don't know who to thank. Mom for taking the women and children in, or entertaining the kids with something other than trip up here. The girls I talked to, or the young woman I talked to at Ijams the other day, also confirmed this place. But by their attitudes and by their comments, they don't want anybody up here. They said there was nothing but ruins up here. You know, a few remains, but certainly interests me. You know, I said the same on Dunn Street to a much younger looking house, much younger looking building, much more contemporary. I don't know why anybody would want to leave a place like this, or, you know, I don't know. But then again, you know, Game of Thrones past, what, 20 years or so. Pride is a womanly thing that girls like to share and show off. If it's theirs. The idea of pride for men in achieving housing has certainly been absent. As I will attest to, and have attested to over the years. That is a tarp. It is not, it looks aluminum or something, but it's actually a tarp. I've heard stories of, and seen pictures, film of such places in the Smoky Mountains. At never been to one, you know, never seen one in person. But oh my, you know, these kind of lost homes in the hills of the Smoky Mountains, you know, that I can't help but find so romantic And, one of the charms of the Smoky Mountains that I have yet to realize, but I mean, there have been whole towns in the Smokies Park that have been abandoned and restored. Both of them, thanks to the U.S. government. Yeah. And, but before Altamont was restored, it was a ghost town and had a lot of empty, abandoned homes like this. That people in Knoxville actually would go and stay at in the summer. It was vacation homes and things like that. And when the Smokies became a national park, the government said, everybody out. And then, of course, everybody yelled and screamed, and the government said, all right, well, you and your immediate ancestor can stay there in Altamont. And then it became a joke after that, because it was like everybody's grandfather was being grandfathered into property that, it's the original owners are long gone. And so finally the U.S. government, if what I know is to be true, the U.S. government said, all right, everybody out. That's it. Enough of this, grandfather clause, it's be a grandmother clause today, folks. But, yeah, that whole, well, I passed this down a generation. Well, it's like Feds kind of got tired of that, everybody, being related in, the Smoky community there. Despite the rumors. Something out of a Burt Reynolds, John Voight movie, but yeah, despite that, oh, it was closed. There was such a cry from visitors following years, not the owners so much, but the visitors to the Smokies, that found these, that wander through these vacant homes in the hills, and they became so popular, this tour through this sort of ghost town in the Smokies, lost in the hills and, reclaimed by nature over time. That federal government said, all right. We're gonna renovate those that we can, and then demolish the rest. Let us be done with this matter. And so Altamont is a major stop in the Smokies today. I believe it's in the Cades Cove area. Do not quote me on that. I have no idea. There's, I took, a pink Jeep tour of the Smokies when I was there last. So I am not your park ranger that you want to ask about such things like that. Although I am only 64. And, yeah. Stop back in another year or two. And I hope to update things. Oh my, wouldn't you know? Is that what it, yeah, it is. My, hey. Oh, hey. Very cool. And you got a lot of bricks here, too. Again, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to, renovate. This is very much like the home on Dunn Street. Not the sticks there. This is, I don't know what they're doing here. Fort, I don't know, but yeah. Did a little lost home in the hills here, behind the Meads Quarry at Ijams Nature Center. Wow. Very cute, very sweet, very charming. Get it while you can, from what I keep hearing.